Thank you for starting us off. I'm extremely sorry. I'm so late. What normally takes me 25 minutes by car was an hour and 10 today, so I'm very sorry about that. But luckily, you have a very gifted musician to keep the energy going. So today, we're talking about the frenemy within, friend, enemy, that kind of, depending on the day of the week, the circumstance, the mood, smiles and stabs. So it'll be a juicy and adventurous discussion. So by frenemy within, we're referring to the mind, which is something that we all have. It's described as could be our best friend or our worst enemy. Who's been in a situation where your mind has taken you to an unexpectedly good place, good situation that you never anticipated? Like this, inspiration comes and wow, this is amazing. How many of us have been in a situation where our mind encouraged us to do something that, let's say, another voice inside us said, this probably isn't the most intelligent thing, and we later found out the hard way that voice was right, usually our parents. Yeah, so that's just a very light, simple example. So before getting into understanding the mind, it's important to just understand the mind in relation to the rest of our individual existence. So let's start with, let's work outside in. How do most people usually perceive the world around them?
Senses.
Senses, okay, examples of senses.
Seeing, touching.
Eyes, touching, what else?
Hearing.
Hearing, smell,
Feeling.
what else?
Taste.
Taste, yes. Okay, so we have the senses, and there's something that regulates the senses. There's the mind. So the mind, one way to think about it is the mind is the center of the senses. So if we were to just diagram it out, we could see that, so taste, touch, smell, hearing, and seeing. And the mind is holding on to those to understand in very simple language, good, bad, or not sure yet. Now, what helps us understand or discriminate between good, bad, or not sure? Intellect. Because oh my gosh. Yes. Sorry, I just need a moment to breathe. Okay. That looks right. Yes. And according to the Vedic understanding, there is something above the intellect, regulating or even governing the intellect. And that's, well, same. If we say true ego and soul, yes, synonymous. Okay. So in a perfectly working system, like we've seen org charts and things like that, they usually work top down, right? And this diagram is meant to be no different. We've got the soul, the animating life force. We've got the intellect, which is meant to serve the soul. We've got the mind, which regulates the senses under the guidance of intellect and the senses. So this model, how many of us believe that we each live by this model? some of us. How many of us think their experience in life so far is a little bit different than what this model suggests? Okay. Curious. Why? Why do you think it's a little different? Then we'll hear from the I'm aligned with this camp.
A lot of my actions are often motivated with respect to temporary pleasures or mind rather than something more eternal in nature like soul. Like, oh, I like pizza. I want to have it.
That's exactly the example I said.
It's not like, oh, is it prasad pizza? No, it's pizza. I want it.
Okay, so it's kind of like, I'm not going to touch my tongue, but it's like being dragged by the tongue. All right. Any other examples? Otherwise, we'll go to the other camp. Okay. For the I perfectly, or we'll say 99% aligned with this structure, what's your view of that?
I sort of feel like I do align, but I feel like I'm influenced by other people to align with this manner. Because for me to even like begin to understand what see, taste, touch, smell, and hear is, I look at other people and how they react, and then that instills that sort of an intellect in mind.
So forming a reference point, so your intelligence influenced by how other people's senses react to that. Okay.
I mean, I would say it's like a very foundation when I was a child, but then post that, I think experiences form the intellect that I have. And
Okay.
vice versa.
Okay. I'm sure we all have these things in our life where we eat something and maybe one of our friends says like, how could you eat that? That's disgusting. Like every morning I have this spinach banana smoothie and my kids give me such a hard time about it. And to make matters worse, I've added blueberries so it turns black now.
And sticks.
So just again, a lighthearted example of there's the role of other people's judgment of their senses, so what their mind has processed as pleasurable, painful, disgusting, fill in the blank of the word, versus my own experience. It's a very relative situation. But what's driving that though, even though let's say the people around you may come to the conclusion that this is not pleasurable for the senses, there are cases, I'm guessing, where you would come to your own conclusion as well, right? So then we're still getting information based on the senses. Now, another example of maybe where the intellect may regulate the senses, how many of us know somebody that's diabetic? Okay. And so the intellect says, it's not good for me to eat sugar or sugary foods or high carb foods in certain quantities, so I will abstain from it. So that's an example, again, a very light example of intellect holding the reins over the mind and senses.
Question.
Yes.
How do you differentiate between when the mind is in control versus the intellect? Like, what are some symptoms of this is mind versus intellect? Because I'm a bit confused when it comes to differentiating those two.
Okay. So the mind is the realm of accept and reject and reaction of the senses. The intellect is the source of discrimination. So have we ever been in a situation that we know is good for us? It may be unpleasant, the actual experience of it. Like, I know growing up, I mean, ironic that I'm a vegetarian now, but as a kid, I was the anti-vegetarian. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to eat vegetables. I found them just revolting. But I would eat some of them just knowing, okay, this is good for me, and I'll just get through it. So the intellect is governing the mind and senses, which are revolting against that flavor experience. Does that help a little bit just with that example? Okay. Any other thoughts? Because we're gonna go a little deeper. Oh.
On that thought, I would say mind is more default, reactive, and intellect is more intentional. So it's like I want to taste something sweet. I want Pepsi. Mind would be like, there's a Pepsi bottle, drink it. Intellect would be like, this is unhealthy. Maybe you can have lemon juice instead. In both cases, the sense is satisfied, but I'm operating from different standards because I'm choosing the discernment ability of the intellect over mind.
This one is not just aligned to your answer. However, just I want to add, if in the picture of Krishna, there are 5 horses. So 5 horses are symbolized as senses, and Krishna is the intellect, and Arjuna is the mind. Intellect generally takes decision based on the past impression, which is from the memory. So by that, intellect take decision whether it's going to be good or not. Like that.
Okay. Nice. So this structure that I just wrote here is also supported by Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself is saying the working senses are superior to dull matter. So in addition to this hierarchy, below that, the base is dull matter, the objects that are perceived by the senses. And then mind is higher than senses, intelligence higher than mind, and the soul is even higher than the intelligence. So the life force, because a dead body, the intelligence is gone. The subtle mind is gone. The brain is there, but the capacity to perceive the senses is gone. The ability to directly experience dull matter is gone. So we'll go a little bit into this. There's going to be a 3-part exercise. First one is how we believe the mind works. So I need 2 volunteers. It'll be fun, I promise. Okay, 1. Who else wants to volunteer? Maybe I should tell you, it's a little bit of role playing. All right, please come up. Okay, well, where'd you get your hand? And for those of you that were on the cusp of volunteering, there will be 2 more opportunities. All right, so I'm going to put this marker here. You are the mind, and you are the person going about life. So you can go over here. And we're going to tie this around your eyes. So your job, mind, is help this wandering soul to get to the marker.
Help me.
And do a good job.
I'm blind.
Can you see anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing good. Just keep coming straight. You're good. Keep coming a little more straight. It's okay. Just keep coming straight. Stop. I think if you right hand, you just
You
get
can't
to
see
it.
yourself.
Move a little left. 2 steps left. Okay, a little towards the door. Yes.
Yay! Okay, so that's how we believe the mind works. The mind is truthful. The mind doesn't play games with us. The mind is our friend. And Krishna would agree with you. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Uh-oh. The seeds of conflict have been sown. So, we'll now do part 2 of the exercise. More volunteers? This time I need 4 volunteers. Okay, 1. 3 pizzas, okay, 2. Okay, 2, 3. One more. I'm gonna pick something if you can volunteer. I'm sorry, you made a big mistake. You put your eyes down.
How mine works.
All right. So which one of you wants to be the living body?
Nope.
All right. Okay. Now, sorry. Now, one of you can put this marker somewhere, not too far, please. Okay, can you see?
No.
Okay. Where is it? I didn't notice. Okay, got it. Okay. So hold on. So two of you are going to be fixated on. So when I tap you, you're going to be fixated on taking him to the blinds in the back of the room. But you're not going to say, like, I'm taking you to the blinds in the back of the room. You're just going to direct him in that way. You are going to take him to the light switch near the doorway.
Okay.
No, you can't say that. All right, roll switch.
Sorry.
Roll switch. Okay. You're going to take him to the light switch in the doorway. You're going to take him to the blinds in the back of the room. And you're going to try to get him to the marker. No. Oh, sorry. You're going to take him to the marker. You're going to take him to the light switch by the door. You're going to take him to the blinds. All right. Now, you, as the wandering conditioned soul, you have to figure out who to listen to reach your destination.
Okay.
And go. No, you're supposed to take him to a certain place.
I want to have fun
Sure,
first.
then turn to
Take
your,
right.
Turn to your left. Left.
Right
Your
ले
left.
ले, so हम 5 रुपए दूंगा.
Okay. No. Got it.
Straight 2 step आगे और 1 right. 2 step आगे 1 right. अरे यहाँ नहीं, थोड़ा लेफ्ट सीधा चल और हाँ बहुत बढ़िया बस हाथ नीचे
Wait, no one else is guiding. What? No one
Wait,
else is
where's all the voices?
Shout.
हाथ नीचे टेबल पे हाँ बहुत अच्छा थोड़ा सा आगे कर हाथ
Go
थोड़ा सा
straight,
आगे
go
कर
straight. No.
हाथ अबे पीछे आ जा वो 5 रुपए नहीं दे रहा मैं दे रहा
Sure.
वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं रखा भाई पीछे भाई वो 5 रुपए ले लेगा तेरे से देगा नहीं
Okay, I think this is done. You were not even close.
That was my job.
Yeah, you can take it off now.
आपको पेन नहीं मिला
I want the sense was misguided.
Okay, so can somebody point to where the marker was?
near the free books
Okay, so what was your experience? So
like regarding the commands from the sense.
yes.
I listened the one which was the loudest, or maybe which one I thought would be
Like,
easier for me.
How many of us have been in that experience? Yeah. What else? So-
The other one I didn't even hear. This one was good, but somehow I thought maybe that one is the easiest.
Okay, so you didn't know who to trust.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that's very common. So thank you for your help. All our volunteers and volunteers. It's tricky as we are all navigating this world, trying to use our senses, trying to use our minds, trying to use our intellect on our own efforts to understand what is taking us closer to where we want to be and what is taking us away from where we want to be. Now, in the theme of the spiritualist journey, I think the connection is pretty clear that there are voices that will try to distract us from that journey, and there are voices that will encourage us to continue that journey, to move forward in that journey. And so Krishna says, for him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Not just an enemy, the greatest enemy. And so I think this was the picture that you were talking about, Alok. This is the diagram of the inverse hierarchy, where we have each of the 5 senses as these horses. You can see sight, smell, hear, sound, touch, and taste, pulling the reins. There's the mind. And that horrified figure is the soul that's along for the ride, kind of helpless. So, based on this, who's really running the show here?
Senses.
Senses. Yeah. The horses are totally out of control. And they're just pulling along for the ride. So, examples of that we can think of are I know I shouldn't do this, or I know I shouldn't eat this. So think back to, people in our lives, especially like with certain health conditions. I know I shouldn't, but, or in my case, I know I shouldn't eat that 8th slice of pizza, but, and that's an example of the senses dragging us in different directions. And that could be in any kind of situation where there is something that goes against, let's say, my sense of values. Temptations is another word for it. Behaviors that we engage in that we know are not good for our sense of values, our sense of identity. And Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that the senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them. So it's not enough to say that, okay, I'm just going to try to tough it out, a matter of willpower, I can do this, because even the strongest of wills can be broken. So there are countless stories from different scriptural traditions that talk about that very topic. And so if I try to just rely on myself to understand I should listen to this, I should not listen to that, we may end up 180 degrees from where we want it to be. So we get some advice on how to handle this. One of it is be kind to ourselves. It's a long journey. And Krishna encourages from wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So this ties, I think, pretty nicely to the topics from the last 2 weeks of letting go and also overcoming overthinking. It's a never-ending series of battles, of events. It's not, okay, great, now the mind is my best friend, because if any of us have ever been around small children will cuddle you and give you hugs and kisses, and then the next minute, it'll be like the tantrum, the world is ending. And so the role of the soul governing the intellect, governing the mind, is to be that of the more sober parent. Understanding the senses may be screaming for something, but giving confidence to that intellect through a variety of sources, through the power of association. So being around people that can help us to stay accountable, for example, staying closely rooted to values that support that trajectory.
One question.
Yes.
What defines control in this situation? Is it on the basis of, from what I know, it's on the basis of belief, basis of fear, basis of worldview, but just curious when your mind is flickering and then so unsteady, how do you define control? When you're unsure what control means? If
Sure.
you do have experiences of what control means, but you're in a situation, maybe you're stressed and you have hundreds of voices, you might listen to a loudest voice, but how do you bring a sense of control? What defines control?
So it's a very gradual process, but it starts with understanding what is my trajectory, what is important to me. So as aspiring spiritualists, the assumption is that we all want to deepen our relationship with God. And so that governing principle then is what is favorable for that relationship? And it's placing sufficient value in that relationship that I can use that as the bellwether for yes, no, or maybe. Is that?
Yeah, it does answer the question.
Okay.
But I do have follow-up questions, which I'll ask later. defining trajectory, right? Like trajectory is also very subjective to people. People who are attached to materialistic world, people who are not attached to materialistic world. So if I am somebody who is in between and not sure what my trajectory is, then how do I bring this again? I'm unsure.
It's difficult. It's difficult because if I'm not clear on where I want to be, it's hard to know if I'm moving in that direction. So if it's a little of this and a little of that, the progress may still happen, just depending on which, let's say, desire is stronger at that time. Now, the nice thing is, in the same chapter, in chapter 6, Krishna and Arjuna talk a little bit about what happens to a spiritualist that doesn't complete the journey. And Krishna gives reassurance that wherever you left off, you continue in your next birth. So there's no loss in this process. So that's reassuring because we've been here, we all agree on the concept of reincarnation. We've been here for many, many births. We've all been there, done that. And here we are again, thinking we can do things a little differently and be happy in that situation. So it's kind of like filling a bucket one drop at a time. Every time we say yes to that spiritual trajectory and say yes to Krishna, there's another drop in the bucket. And eventually it overflows in a very wonderful way. It's just a matter of time. But the other thing is that we're never in a situation where we are forgotten either. So even if, let's say, I'm more inclined away from, provided I have even the littlest bit of inclination or interest, arrangements will be made to reawaken that. So there's effort, but there's also a lot of grace. And the odds are not stacked in our favor. Mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. So this is an eternal associate of God saying this. If he's struggling and saying this about the mind, like, what about us? And that's where part 3 of this exercise comes in. So I need a few volunteers. I need 5 volunteers this time, and this is the last exercise. Please, there can only be 5. Take it. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Does anyone want to be number 5? 5. This is the last VBS session I'm ever coming to. Okay. So, you're going to have this tied around your eyes. Mm-hmm. It won't hurt too much.
You can see that.
Yeah.
You can see through it.
Can you see?
Not really.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay. All right. Don't say a word, okay? Okay. You're going to try to get him to the light switch. Use your words to try to get him to the light switch. Use your words to take him to the whiteboard. Any whiteboard. Use your words to have him steal this young man's phone.
Yeah, sure.
You are the guru. When the time is right, you're going to tell them to be quiet.
Okay.
And tell them where to go for the marker.
Okay. Tell all of that?
Oh, man. All right. Light switch. Teacher, mentor, guru, don't say a word. Phone. Lines. All right. And whoever is the guru, you can get the different, so all these voices trying to take this young man away from the marker, which you have to get him to. As soon as the guru, teacher, mentor says, minds be quiet, you can't say anything more to him for 1 second. In that 1 second of silence, after that 1 second of silence, go to town. All right, ready? Are you clear on what you need to do?
No, I have a question. Like I have to take it.
Don't say where you're taking anyone.
Okay.
Just take him wherever you want. All right, ready? Go. Let's give this a try.
Turn to the right.
Take a
Turn to the
left.
right.
Take a
Straight.
left.
Straight.
Take a left.
Straight.
Take a left.
Straight.
Take a left.
Straight. Back.
Reverse,
Back.
reverse,
Back.
reverse,
Back.
reverse.
Back.
Just
Come
turn back.
to the back. Come back.
You can talk
To the
over
left.
each other. Talk
To the
over each
left.
other, it's fine.
Back. 2 steps back. Left.
Take a left.
Straight,
Take a
straight,
left.
straight,
Straight.
Bend.
No.
Keep
Straight.
going, keep going.
Everyone should do right.
Use your hand.
Use your hand.
Use your hand. Right hand.
Okay.
Turn.
Give the
And then-
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go out.
Tell them to be
Move your hand to the right. And then keep it down. Did you? Okay. So if you want.
Yeah, for 1 second. Now you can
Okay,
go back.
now.
Back.
Turn back.
Okay,
Turn
you've
around.
heard the,
Start hitting
you've
the
heard
voice.
the voice of the person that you're supposed to listen to.
Oh.
Now try to listen to him.
Yeah, that's it. So turn around.
Okay.
Just push your hand forward.
Next
And
word
then
maybe.
to the right. And then take it down. Be loud, bro.
Yeah, you have to control.
You gotta
Yeah.
dominate. You can tell him who you are as well.
Now, U-turn. Do the same U-turn again.
Same U-turn.
Down.
All right, gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Oh,
case.
God. Oh, Mr.
Alright.
Accomplished.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Next word.
We were able to defeat the mind.
Yeah. All right. So in an ideal situation, so that illustrates a few things that we talked. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can take it off. So even when we're on, and this is illustrated by some of those quotes in the Bhagavad Gita, even when we're on the spiritual path, even when we know, I'll use kind of like a very loaded word of what we should do. It's hard to always know the voice that we should be listening to. So that's why it's considered a journey. That's why, oh, sorry, you can sit down. Thank you so much. And that's why it's so important that we exercise a lot of kindness to ourselves, to let go of feelings of guilt or self-doubt. Now, the question though is, and this is also nicely illustrated, it's hard to know what voice to listen to, even in the face of situations where I clearly know somebody who can properly guide me across the other side to the marker. And in this tradition, in this Vedic tradition, there's the concept of disciplic succession, where it's an unbroken line of teacher, student, teacher, student, teacher, student. So the idea is, by my own mind and senses and intelligence, I'm not able to achieve that spiritual goal. So I need the intervention, the voice, the guidance from somebody who's already there. And at least much, 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 much further along the path than I am, to help take me to the other side. And so it's a matter of examining when we are, let's say, approaching a spiritual practice, when we're going on this spiritualist journey, it's important that we properly ask questions. So don't leave anything to a sort of dogma. Doubts, raise them in a respectful way with the view of trying to understand. And try to sincerely practice what is being shared. Because if it's just hearing it's in and out, or it just resides in the mind, but doesn't translate to any practice or behavior, it's very hard to move forward. It's like getting into a car and then saying, why isn't it going? But the ignition never started. And without a proper examination, without a spirit of inquiry, without a mood of service, it just becomes more noise in the mind. It becomes this intellectual exercise that may feel good, but doesn't take us anywhere. So we're really encouraged to make this a living, breathing practice. And that living, breathing practice means stumbling and falling, just like learning to walk. We take a few steps, we fall. Next time we get up, we take a few more steps, make it a little further. And before you know it, we're running and it's nothing. And so there's a big emphasis on understanding the standard, the goal, the destination where I want to be, where I am. And periodically reassessing that is also very important to understand what maybe that next step in the journey looks like. So this quote from Bhagavad Gita talks about restriction from sense enjoyment. If we were to just isolate that concept, and especially the taste for sense objects remains, what's the danger of obsessing over avoiding the taste for sense objects? Like, okay, I'm not going to eat that last slice of pizza, or okay, I'm going to refrain from, let's say, like drinking alcohol or different things like that. What's the danger in just focusing on do not, do not, do not, do not?
The subject of your mind is constantly the item that you're trying to avoid.
Tendency of mind is like the more we insist.
Oh, more you persist, consist?
You insist.
You insist. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's very present. It's amplifying the object of desire in the mind by just occupying the space. And so if I say like, I won't, that's just as good as saying, wow, that sounds nice. But we have a really nice kind of counterpoint to that. By ceasing such engagements, by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. One example of that, how many of us played with toys when we were kids? How many of us experienced the same pleasure today if we were to play with those same toys? Same pleasure. Like, I enjoy playing Legos with my kids, but the experience is okay. Mostly the same. Okay. But you get the idea that as we develop, we're now more into adult type of activities with adult type responsibilities and adult type pleasures. Yes?
So you need to correct. The more we resist, persist.
The more we resist, like the idea persists if we are just fighting against
try
it.
to block the thoughts, it's going to persist.
Okay. Yes, I understand.
Last time I was wrong.
And so it's natural, as we go through life, we develop higher tastes. And the spiritual process is no different. So it's not about repression, let's turn blinders on. It's naturally, through the process of spiritual growth, spiritual development, matter and spirit are incompatible. In the sense that the more inclined and attached I am to spirit, the less I identify with matter as a source of happiness and fulfillment. Conversely, the more I identify with matter as a source of happiness and fulfillment, generally, the less inclined I am to look outside of that to a spiritual source. And so we're encouraged, go in the direction that doesn't leave us at the time of death. That's a never ceasing process. And invest in that. A simple example is invest in the bank account that continually maintains your balance. Because at the time of death, the material side all goes away. We come into this world with nothing physical, and we exit the world with nothing physical. You can't take it with you. But what we can take is our eternal relationship with God. And if we accept that we've been here for countless births, that means we've been doing things mostly the same way, birth after birth. As humans, we've learned the alphabet, we've gone to school, in all sorts of countries and situations in the world. We've been all sorts of professions in our lives. We've experienced success and failure. We're on this trajectory to do the same thing. So why not try something a little different? And the nice thing is, we're promised here that it's experiencing a higher taste, that it's actually better than what we could get without this. So we can develop that higher taste through simple, accessible joys, like this chanting, this kirtan that Girish was leading us in. We can spiritualize all of our senses, like hearing the sound of God's names through this mantra. We can taste prasadam, food that is sanctified, karma-free, offered to God first and then eaten very soon. We can smell nice flowers that are maybe offered to the deities, or we see it just in relation to God. Like, even if it's, we're passing by a rose bush and we smell the rose, like, wow, this creation is so wonderful. The creator must be even so much more wonderful. Like that. With the proper vision, the Vedic vision, we can spiritualize everything around us. So I just want to conclude with a reassurance that this is a journey that we're all taking together, and that we're not alone. And even just in the struggle of the mind and senses, one of the names of Krishna is Rishikesh, which is the master of the senses. Sometimes it's very, very hard. And so we can just try, even just like in a small way, just call out, Rishikesh, please help me. I know my intelligence is saying no. My senses are saying yes. Please help me. And with a sincere call, that strength will come to move forward. And the cool thing is, relationships build and develop. Trust and faith build and develop with each of these small implementations of what we hear, what we understand. So just tame the mind to say yes to that relationship, yes to staying on this journey. And perhaps if you want to do 5 more minutes of kirtan, that could be a meditation, just a sincere prayer, a sincere call out to Krishna to help us say yes. No.
I have a question with the diagram. I don't know. Do we have a Q&A today or no?
I was like 30 minutes late. Can we do it over Prasadam? Is that okay? I don't want to keep people between you.
But it's better if everyone else also can hear the answer. Up to you.
It's okay.
To you.
You're killing me.
Okay, so I feel a lot of the attachments which come with respect to going towards the senses rather than the intellect often emerge from feelings, but there's no mention of feelings on the mind. Even if it's developing a higher taste, it also resonates with feelings. But where would you place feelings in that diagram?
So feelings, a realm of the mind, is a reaction to the perception of the senses. Mm-hmm. And so like pain, pleasure, sadness, happiness, distress, all those dualities, that's a realm of the mind. In a very simplified way, it's yes, no, maybe. Like, yes, this is pleasurable or will lead to something pleasurable. No, this is not pleasurable or will not lead to something pleasurable. Or I'm not really sure. And so kind of like which one's going to win. But that all translates also to the emotional experience that most of us have that are driven by pain and pleasure. There's probably a much more detailed conversation around this, but I think we'll have to save that for another time.
All together.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So thank you all. Also, just to highlight one thing, emotion can be rooted in from the platform of the soul as well. So it's just a matter of, is the emotion arising from just a temporary sense of pain, pleasure, what I perceive will be helpful for my sense of enjoyment, or is it rooted in my relationship with the Supreme? So that's also so if anyone doesn't have a Bhagavad Gita and would like one, they're available here. It's an amazing, amazing book. And also we'll have a chance to spiritualize our sense of taste with dinner. So you're invited to please take.